requires additional permissions. That stream went from 100K viewers to 50K. They just flooded into the gentleman's code.
The Gentleman's Code's about to be the most viewed Twitch stream this morning for sure in the 8 a.m. window.
Yep. I'm not gonna be surprised whenever Kick gives us a call and says, "Hey guys, we gotta sign a deal with you guys. We gotta get you off of
We
Twitch.
got to get you off of Twitch.
You guys are fucking cooking way too hard." Damn. Look at that. So I just sent a chat in for Twitch and YouTube. It popped in.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Wow. Technology.
And you know
Outrageous.
what? I've been watching the market professionals on X, and X now is a chat feature too. So I wonder if you're going to start seeing some X chats rolling through.
They it doesn't say it says all in Twitch YouTube. So I don't have X chat on here, but I noticed that before they didn't have that, and they definitely need to fix
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
They have to, yeah. So they do now, beauty. Look, and I even have now on the stream, I got it to show our social media on the live stream.
Oh, fire.
Oh, beauty. Well, I'm live, baby.
Yeah,
You
I'm
want to
live
drop us
too.
in?
Yeah,
Want to drop
welcome
us
in
in?
everybody. The Gentleman's Code episode 23. We have a good show planned for you guys today, Wednesday, January 15th. Just a humble plug drop. My birthday's tomorrow, January 16th. So any viewers watching want to send some love, want to send some crypto, the birthday presents are open for taking. So just throwing that out there. But yeah, welcome in everybody. I hope everyone's having a good week, working hard, grinding. You know, that's what we're here doing on Wednesday mornings, getting after it. So welcome in, Pre. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Bobby. And that's the thing, hustling 8 a.m. Eastern time. It's funny because we do these streams at 8 a.m. Eastern, but 90% of the audience in the United States are sleeping, hugging their pillow. They haven't even had their first, quad shot espresso for the morning, and we're over here going live and bringing the fucking fire. They gotta wake up to a two piece to the dome. They get that YouTube notification, the Gentleman's Code episode 23. They're like, oh, I fucking missed it again.
These
Fuck.
fucking guys again.
They're locked in. What the fuck? I was sleeping. It's like, yeah, motherfucker. We're out here hustling, baby. We don't give a fuck. Bro, I slept three. I didn't even sleep 3 hours last night, like 2 hours.
I wake up the messages from Priamo from 2:30 in the morning. I'm like, oh, he's gonna get no sleep before the episode tomorrow.
Zero, bro. I was up till yeah, dude. I'm letting a dude in from Germany into the private crypto chat. He's in Germany. He's like, all right, have a nice day. And I said, where are you at? Because it's 3 a.m. here, bro. I'm about to go to sleep. This dude's in Germany. So, but yeah, dude, fucking 3 hours. I don't give a fuck. We're still here. We're hustling, baby. I'm bringing the fucking fire. So, real quick, just for you guys to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Twitch is pumping now, so we should probably have 200,000 live viewers from what I'm hearing about Twitch. It should be a fucking people just flooding in left and right. But I know you want to talk about a little potential ban coming up here again, which we've heard about in the past.
Well, speaking of social media's sites, yes.
So what's going on with that? Because I haven't looked into that too much. I know they had talked about banning it in the past whenever Trump was in office the first time, I believe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, things have
And
changed though. Things have changed since then. First time around, 2016 to 2020 when Trump was in office, he didn't like the national security threat of TikTok. It is owned by ByteDance, which is a Chinese corporation, but ultimately all media in China gets funded by the government and is censored by the government for the people. So TikTok the first time around in the Trump administration, he wasn't a big fan of it. He wanted to get it banned, and Congress started passing some bills to get that in motion. And it kind of got put on the back burner, and nothing ever happened with it until about a year ago, six months to a year ago. The Senate and some Congress people ended up pushing a law through that is going to say it's banned in the United States. It ultimately ended up going through the court system, where they agreed on the date of January 20th, with a few exceptions of, which I'm sure you heard of, if a United States corporation buys it, or if they just dilute the company and it's not in the United States anymore. So that's kind of the two options we had, and it's looking like as of right now that it's going to get diluted at the United States. There is some people that have shown interest. I saw a new front runner coming to the mix. I don't know if you saw this, but
Who?
the front runner is Mr. Elon Musk himself to buy TikTok, is what I've been
Moscow.
seeing. Also, Trump has flipped his position on it as well. So he was kind of against TikTok in the beginning, but as we know, he kind of used social media and TikTok and different platforms during the election to get elected. So I think he's opened up to the idea of it. But again, it's going to be a lot of work that I think he doesn't even want to deal with right now. So it's kind of, he's pushing it out. He's kind of trying to find investors, people maybe that will buy it, that will save it. I know Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank, who's big on TikTok, also is looking to maybe purchase it. But in terms of social media and what TikTok actually provides, is TikTok actually, and I've learned this firsthand. TikTok Shop has actually provided so many people with reliable income to this point. So there's over 1 million people that use TikTok Shop to make money and as an affiliate. So that's kind of what they're thinking of, trying to save people kind of a new way to make money online with digital e-commerce and making video formats and stuff like that. So I
Mhm.
think, I don't think TikTok is a terrible idea to have. Maybe the brain rot side of it, but from in like a free market sense, people being able to build a small business and then just go on TikTok and post their products, if you make your content good, millions of people to see, is a game changer for a lot of people, and a lot of small companies can make a lot of money doing this the correct way. But yeah, there's just some ties they got to tie up here in the next 5 days. But you might be seeing TikTok get banned in the United States January 20th.
Right. And the thing that you said about TikTok and being able to make money on there, that was the first social media platform where virality was so accessible to everyone. And it just has to do with the algorithm. Whatever they did with that algorithm, they just made it so accessible to everybody that everybody pretty much had a chance to go viral if he had a good video. And that wasn't something that you saw on other social media sites, on Instagram, on YouTube, on all these other different platforms. It seems like, not seems like, it just certainly was much more difficult to actually get something to go viral. And so that was, in my opinion, why TikTok had blown up so much originally, because people realized, oh shit, you could just go over the TikTok and next thing you know, you got a fucking million followers. Well, if you
Yeah.
have 1 million followers, that's, what is that? That's marketing, that's advertising money. Now you got sponsorship deals. Now you got companies coming to you saying, hey, promote this, promote that. You can do yourself, build your own company, build your own business, sell your own product, boom, 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 boom. I mean, geez, dude, look at the fucking OnlyFans girls. A lot of the OnlyFans girls were on TikTok, went viral, and they get all these dudes, these hornballs, to go sign up to their OnlyFans page
Yeah.
because of their TikTok.
Post the link in the bio and they go in and just buy the OnlyFans.
Boom, boom, boom. All right, and gentlemen, you better not have a single motherfucking subscription to any of those girls.
No.
But the other thing with TikTok, that so one of the guys that we had went to college with, um, I'm not sure if you ever had this conversation with him, but I know when he came to visit Arizona, we had actually went out to go eat with him, and we're talking about TikTok. And in the line of work that he's in, he knows also the things that TikTok does, or the companies in China do, to manipulate the audience in the United States. Okay.
Mhm.
So there's a form of mental warfare that takes place on TikTok. And this is also another incentive for the government to want to either have a US company buy TikTok or ban it, because TikTok in the United States is so much more degenerate than TikTok in China. Okay, so TikTok in the United States, is everybody knows if you're on there, it's fucking brain rot, like Bobby said. It's you're dancing, girls shaking ass, guys doing dumb shit. It's just fucking brain rot, mindless, numb, fucking scrolling, waste of time, waste of energy. That's done by design. And the amount of data farming that happens on TikTok is also by design. It's so egregious, so what's the proper word for it? It's so invasive, the amount of data collection that they do from TikTok, that was a big reason that the US companies wanted to ban it too, or the US government wanted to ban it too, because it was just so outrageous, the things that they were doing to the US consumer base. So I don't know if you've heard that before, but about the mental warfare they try to inflict on the US.
Yeah, I mean, it all kind of comes back to the algorithm itself. It's the videos that the algorithm is trained to push out. And like you said, it's going to push out a lot of that degenerate stuff from, nonsense, violence, stupid stuff, girls half naked, whatever it is. But even the good content, there is a lot of good content on TikTok as well, but it's just not going to get the reach that some of the degenerate stuff gets. Like you said, people back in the day could get on TikTok, post the stupidest stuff and have 1 million followers in 6 months. At the beginning of TikTok, I think things have changed now with the algorithm. It's you're not able to kind of do that unless you're posting like 3, 4 times a day good content, like we try to do on YouTube. Which I think is pretty much all the social media's algorithm at this point. They want to see consistency, they want to see good content. But back in the day, it wasn't like that. In 2017, 18 on TikTok when it first came out, it was you could just post a video of you taking shit on the toilet and you could have 500,000 views. Literally, you could. But it's funny you bring that up because actually last night when I was reading into some of this stuff, the Chinese have another app and it's called the Red Book, and it's one that nobody knew about here in the United States. And I guess the Americans, looming the TikTok shutdown, wanted to get on another app, and so they went on this Redbook app, which is a Chinese app, and all the Chinese people are pissed off because they're like, oh, all the Americans bringing their degeneracy onto the app, like just making these crazy videos. Because, like you said, and it's not like that, like the way they do it. They probably use it more like an Instagram or something, like just posting their pictures, posting their life. But for the Americans, it's like comedy and some crazy stuff that they post on there. So Redbook is another one that they use that the Americans are getting involved in.
Yeah, I'd never heard of Red Book, but yeah, that just shows you what they can do with these apps, because people don't think that this is the ignorance of Americans, and that's why people in the U.S. have to understand it's a lot more than just you know there's a lot more at stake than just having to have this inclusive culture where everybody's soft and everybody gets a participation trophy and everybody's woke and nice. There's a lot more at stake than that, because there are other superpowers in the world who don't give a Frenchman's fuck about the US, okay? And when they see people in the US have this woke mindset, weak mindset, brain rot, everything's a joke, no, nothing's a big deal, they fucking love that. Because countries like China, what are they doing? Well, they're sending over shit like TikTok so people can act degenerate on TikTok in the US. And what do you think that does to the children of the people in the United States? It brings down their IQ. It wastes their time and energy. It puts them in it literally destroys their ability to think properly. So they can't concentrate or focus on something for more than fucking 5 seconds, because the algorithms destroy the way that their mind works. So you think, well, why would China want to do something like that? Well, if you can destroy the cognitive ability of the youth in the United States and waste their fucking time, well, while the Chinese kids are in school doing their fucking math equations and shit, and then they're going on TikTok and seeing people doing math, because it's fucking completely different in China. What do you think? How do you think their children are going to perform? They're going to be a lot more disciplined, a lot more competent, much more intelligent than the people in the United States. So this is a real warfare. Warfare doesn't just involve you going into a country with guns and fucking killing people.
Mm-mm.
No, there's mental warfare. There's bio warfare. There's electrical warfare. So, if they send a fucking EMP and shut down the power grid, like there are different ways for countries to attack and infiltrate the United States and slowly, over a long enough period of time, dismantle the establishment and erode the ability of the people to basically be educated and continue to innovate and continue to be great. all they have to do is play the long game. You know, they don't have to come in and invade the United States through military force. They can just send us TikTok and all the kids become fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a great point, and it's really is. It is the long game because they know if they know what their long term plans are, and they're sending you TikTok, and they're just like, all right, just go crazy on it for the next 20 years, see what happens. I mean, if they have some planned in mind that they're going to lower the IQ of the youth and attention spans and ADHD is on the rise, that's going to be a win in their book. So yeah, I agree definitely that it is a different type of warfare and challenge that we need to come up with. And I think we've seen some things like some states passing laws that you can't be on social media until you're like 14 years old, 16 years old. Florida, I know they just did it here in the last election. We got the vote on that. So there's different things, especially when you're raising your kids too. You can't raise your kids on an iPad. You can't raise your kids, just give them the iPad, let them go crazy on it, scrolling TikTok while they're young. It's those are super developmental years that you don't get back. So it's super. I mean, when we were kids, I was outside all the time. I'd come home from second grade, third grade, and I'd go on my pedal bike until the sun went down, and I came home, and then that was my afternoon. I didn't have a phone then, and I didn't want to be inside on the computer really. I was outside. I was on my bike, just doing shit, playing in the woods. And then when it came home at night, maybe I'd jump on the Xbox when I was young and get some screen time, play some video games. But I was young. I was a kid. So as you get older and as your kids develop from 8, 9, 10 into the teenage years is when I think it's super critical to really monitor them online, impose of like, especially Instagram and stuff like self-image is so important. So I just think social media is very got to be on the front of everyone's mind, especially for younger kids for people that have kids that are going to be growing up. For us as well, like people our age, it's just don't waste time on social media. If you're going to use it as a tool that can make you more money, or that could make your brand, your image greater, as opposed to doing a lot of nonsense on there, doom scrolling, as the
Think,
kids say.
think about the tragedy of that. How everything we used to do as kids was outside. Because I remember that because I have two younger brothers who are considerably younger than me. So there was certainly a gap in the generation in terms of what they did compared to what I did. Every fucking day after school, what would I look at forward to? Grab the hockey stick, get the hockey net, boom, fucking street hockey with all the kids in the neighborhood. Street hockey used to be the shit, bruv.
Mm-hmm.
Every day out on the street, fucking playing street hockey. And but to the point where I was taking the shit serious. I'm fucking buying my own stick, dude. I got my own balls. I got the fucking net in the basement so I can practice. Dude, I was taking that shit serious. And it was every single day. And dude, the fucking stories you have from growing up playing outside, fucking around with the hometown kids, dude, like that's the best. Now, in my neighborhood that I grew up in, other neighborhoods that I've now had houses in, etc., I don't ever see that shit. Like, rarely do I see kids out there fucking around, even just beating each other up, bro. At least go outside and beat each other up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just fucking do something, bro. Call each other
Yeah,
names,
go
call each
punch
other
the neighbor
gay.
kid or something.
Yeah, dude, go fucking, get all the neighbors and call them gay or something, dude. Just fucking like do something, bro. And but nobody does that anymore. They just sit inside and they fucking. I mean, listen, we get screen time too, absolutely, 100%. But when you're a kid, the parents that have their kids on the fucking iPad because they have no control, no ability to discipline their children is outrageous to me. And I don't care what anybody says. Oh well, you don't know what it's like. No, motherfucker. 99.9% of parents in all of human history didn't have iPads for their kids, and they managed to raise and have those children survive those periods of time. So you don't need an iPad for your fucking kid. So how about you teach them some fucking discipline? How about you discipline them when they're acting out and show them how to act without having a fucking screen right in front of their face from the time they're a toddler? You think that's healthy for a child's brain to have a fucking screen in front of them from the time they're 2, 3 years old because you don't want to feel like distracting them or keeping them engaged on whatever it is that you guys are trying to do? Say no, get your shit together. Don't have a fucking bro. I will never do the fucking iPad when they're that
No.
young. Fuck no.
It's sad because a lot of parents are like, oh, the kid's crying. He wants the iPad and he won't stop crying until I give it to him. Okay, well, make him cry then. Like he's gonna he'll cry all night because he's not getting it. But a lot of people they're just gonna cave in, give him the iPad, and then the kid goes back to being happy, scrolling on whatever, doing whatever he's doing. Like you said, you got to set discipline in them young, not give it to them, and then see what happens. They're gonna cry. Kids cry. That's what happens. Just
Yep.
don't let them bully you into doing it.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You're the fucking adult. I hear this shit all the time now, especially with Western parents and people in fucking America. Bro, I think I told you this before. I don't negotiate with women or children.
Yeah.
There's what is this negotiation that's going on? Oh, they're crying, they want the iPad. All right, just give it to them. What the fuck is this 2-year-old gonna put you in a headlock? What the
Yeah.
fuck are you talking about, bro? You don't have to give him the iPad. Let him cry, dude. Let him cry. Let him learn that he's not gonna get it. Like it's this behavior that people reinforce. It's so logical. This is just the mentality of people is so weak in this country. It's so logical not to reinforce poor behavior. If you don't like a certain type of behavior, well then you don't reinforce it. Well, but I just want to stop, so I'm going to do this. And then you reinforce the behavior, and that just gets worse and worse and worse and worse because this child now realize whenever they act up and they act fucking, they start crying and screaming and yelling, throwing a fit. Oh, that works. I get what I
I
want.
get the iPad. Yep. Exactly.
It's just like a fucking mouse in a lab. You're just reinforcing the behavior. It's not rocket science. It's like, oh, if I cry and act a fool, I'm gonna get what I want. Cool. Let me keep doing that. And this is how you get these adults who act this way. So, what's this negotiation going on for? There's no negotiation. No fucking iPad, bruv. Just sit there and cry.
Yeah, it all comes full circle with these apps and everything going on. It's just people have to be smart about it when they're letting kids on it. Like, different laws pass 15, 16 years old, as you start becoming a young adult seems more realistic. But you just gotta be smart about it. With the TikTok ban looming, we'll see what happens. Maybe TikTok's on its way out, and we get a little bit of a shift here towards YouTube. Maybe we'll see some views go up from the younger generation who wants to make some money in the Taylor's code, as opposed to getting brain rotted. But it's funny, like you said, like kids these days don't really play outside. They're not doing anything. They're inside trading crypto. That's what these 12-year-olds are doing these days. They're not out riding their bikes. They're trading shit coins. Yeah, exactly.
The young buck with the rug pull. Hero. He's a fucking hero.
Isn't that crazy though? Like we
Yeah.
would our when we were that age, we that didn't even cross our mind.
Nah, yeah, dude. Making money. I didn't give a fuck about making money until I was like 18. When I was a kid, all I thought about was playing sports and getting a bit of ass here and there. But I mean, outside of that, I didn't give a fuck. I didn't care about money. Well, I was gonna say something with the with the one last thing with the parenting too. This is why as men, right? And this is the gentleman's code. As a real gentleman, as a man, you understand that you also got to be strict in the way that you conduct your household and the way you run your household. Households where you let the woman take the lead. I was telling this to Logan the other day. I think he liked how I articulated this. I go, I go, I go, Logan. We were talking about girls, and I go, Logan. I said, as soon as you start letting your girl think, you're doomed. It's over for you. You're doomed. I go because when she starts coming up with her own ideas, that's whenever you start getting the kids on hormone blockers. That's whenever you start getting everybody gets vaccines. That's whenever you start getting. That's what happens whenever you let the emotional side make the decision making, right? And so it's true because what happens is men have gotten convinced by the feminine society that all these things that they know inherently are not good, they let it go because it's like, oh, what I feel bad, or like, well, we should be inclusive, or well, we should like, well, maybe we should just listen.
It's emotions.
It's emotional, and it's not to say that. Okay, don't take this out of context. Oh, you said women shouldn't think. No, okay, obviously they can think, but my point is they should not be making the difficult decisions when it comes to things like disciplining, when it comes to things like should we get the vaccines, when it comes to things like should our kid be that was born a boy, should we start naming it a fucking girl's name? It's like you don't let them make those kinds of decisions. As the man, you got to come in and say, no, we're not doing that shit. But it's the households in which the woman takes charge where the men sit back and they say, "Oh, okay, all right. Even though our boy, our son Johnny is a boy, okay, I'll call him Jessica." It's like, bro, who the fuck are you? If you have any ounce of fucking testosterone left in your body, you're not gonna allow your son to be called by a fucking woman's name. What the fuck is that? What is this shit?
That's
Again,
ludicrous.
ludicrous. How could you as a man do that in your own household? Dude, I think about this and I go, who the fuck are these men? Who are these guys that they're okay with that? And it's not even the ones that are full on board and they're pushing and they're like, yeah, 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 this is good. Those guys are psychos. Those guys exist. I'm talking about the men who know that it's wrong and it makes them uncomfortable, but they go along with it because their wife tells them that they should, and the society tells them that they should. It's those guys where I say, dude, do you not have any fucking testosterone in your coursing through your veins? Do you not have any ounce of bravery to say, hold on a second. Listen, baby, I love you, but what the fuck are you talking about? We're
Yeah.
not calling this. Bro, stand up and have some fucking. This is what we're trying to teach the young men they're coming up and they're inside the Taylor's code. It's like you gotta understand that you have to make those tough decisions and say, draw the line in the sand and say, hey, this is the way that we operate in this household. This is what's right. This is what's wrong. This is my creed. You're either gonna abide by this creed or you're gonna get the fuck out of here. Okay, whether that's your wife or whether that's your children. There is no negotiation. If you don't like the way that I want to conduct and build this family, then don't be here, right? I have no problem with that. Then you're just not going to be here. That's fine, right? But you can't bend on everything, and then because your life just becomes destroyed. So the point was, I was saying to Logan is, yeah, as soon as you start letting her think, you're doomed. It's over. You're fucked, dude. You're fucked. You're gonna raise a bunch of weaklings, right?
Yeah, you're right. And one of the points that you hear a lot is the fatherless home and how that kind of affects kids growing up, especially I'd say young men, because they have the ability once they get a little bit older physically to kind of just overpower their mom physically and then mentally at that point, just they could go out, once they're 14, 15 years old, go hang out with their buddies, they get ideas from their buddies, and then they go home and they don't have a father at home to tell them like, hey, listen, this is wrong, stop doing this shit or I'm going to beat your ass. Like, it's a lot of young men have that structure where they know if they go home doing something that they shouldn't be, that they're gonna get in trouble for it. There's gonna be something at home waiting for them. If you don't have that at home, which a lot of people don't as well, it goes both ways. You're a little more open to being maybe radical in terms of, like you said, the your son wants to be a girl. You're going to be more open to the idea of it because just you never had that someone telling you no when you grew up, so you're going to pass that along to your kid, not going to say no. And sometimes you need to say no. You need to lay the law down, like Priamo said, draw a line in the sand and say, where we're building this family, we're not going to do that. And it goes for everything, and not just that, but in terms of going out, you're late at friends, drinking, smoking weed, out, as a teenager, doing things you shouldn't be doing. If one parent doesn't catch it, maybe the other one will. But for, like I said, people that don't have a father in the home, they don't have that dominant masculine presence there when they get home to tell them we're not doing this stuff. It's going to be a lot harder of a life for them, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's interesting you brought that up because I just saw yesterday a video. Now, I didn't necessarily look at the research and look at the numbers myself, so I am taking this at face value. But it was a presenter in front of a room, and she was basically doing a TED Talk style video in front of an audience, and she's going over statistics for families that have both parents or that have a single mother home or a single father home, right? And the point she was making is essentially what you were saying. Children who live in a single mother home have ridiculously higher probabilities of that child ending up in jail, in the juvenile detention system, being on drugs, addiction, very, very bad outcomes. Okay. Now, families that had a single father home, okay, so no mother but the father, those children had the same probabilities of going to jail, being on drugs, being in the juvenile detention center the same probability of that happening as to a two-parent household. So think about that. If it was a single father household or both parents were there, the probabilities of those things happening were the same. It was whenever it was only in a single mother household in which all of those numbers had gone way up with those bad outcomes. Why is that? Well, what you were just saying, Bobby, because the father can still discipline and teach the children from right from wrong. Now they're still missing that mother relationship, that feminine figure in the home, which is incredibly important. Don't get me wrong. I
Yeah,
believe
that's a
1000%.
different. Yeah, that's different.
Different. But the point is that the man needs to be there to discipline, right? If he's not there to discipline, this is when the society starts to erode, and you see that just on the family level. When the father's not there, the children become degenerate, right? There's no discipline, there's no standard, there's no moral belief system. They can just get away with whatever they want. So you see this. This is the exact, personification of what we were just talking about with just not having a father in the home, right?
So, what do you notice though about single mother households that are successful? The mother's always really strong. Like if their children are successful, maybe and they go on to be NFL stars. They come from a single mother household. The mother's always kind of masculine, lays down the law, has it her way. So
Yep.
it goes to what we're talking about. Like you see what different discipline and a structure could bring to you in your life. That's what it is. Even single mother households where you see the child is very successful, goes on to do amazing things. The mother had to be strong, had to be tough, had to say no, had to do those things, and that's just how it goes.
Yeah, and that's an incredibly difficult thing for a woman to do. But in respect to those women who do that, because, like you said, yeah, they're typically working two, three, four jobs just to raise the kid. They're never at home. They're coming back. They're whooping his ass whenever, he's being
Yeah,
bad,
they're
etc.
not putting
The
up with it.
They're not putting up with it, but I respect that because that is what they need. That's the reality of it. Is that's what she has to do. So the women that do that, difficult, but respect that you do that. But that's why typically in a single mother household, when the mother isn't able to discipline the way that the father would, you have problems. It's issues. Again, because the society erodes whenever there's not a masculine figure around. Because there has to be there has to be the knowledge that there's the potential for physical harm when you do the wrong thing. Okay. And that's not to say that a father should just harm people or harm the children, right? But the point is the lesson that a father teaches is there are consequences to the decisions that you make. So you better be a good decision maker and make the right decision so that you're not in a situation where you have to deal with physical conflict, right? Because as a man, you live in a physical world, right? There's physical consequences to the things that you do. And when you know what those consequences are like, you take life a lot more seriously. Okay. You see this happen with people who get into jujitsu and martial arts, like Mark Zuckerberg, dude, super soft, super liberal, this that, and the third. He gets into jujitsu all of a sudden. Next thing you know, he's trying to uncensor things. Now he wants to be on Joe Rogan's podcast and be the good guy, etc. But because once these guys do things that are in the physical realm, they start to realize, oh, this is what real life is like. Oh, this is what another man could do to me. Oh, this is what war is like, right? When you remove that from a society, that's whenever you live in this fairy tale world where you think everything's about feelings and everything's
Hmm.
about inclusiveness, etc.
Yep.
You lose sight of what life is really like, where it's dangerous, where you have to take things seriously, where there
That,
has to be standards.
that's a great point because, like you said, like the mothers are the nurturers. They go on. They make sure the kid wakes up, has breakfast, his diapers are changed, gets dressed, and goes to school. What, or if the kid's at home, taking care of the kids at home. But what's dad doing? Dad's out working in the oil rigs. He's dangerous job. He's doing construction, lifting heavy beams, doing stuff, and he physically has strain on his life on the day to day. For some guys, some guys is different. You might work financially is stressful. Guys trying to come for your money, take your investment fund away, whatever it is. It's war out there at all times. So there's a heightened stress levels that men have to deal with sometimes, and they come home and they can project that strength onto the family and onto the kids and telling them, listen, I know you fucked up, but this we're not going to do it. It's just it's simple as that. When you see, like you said before, circling back to it, is when you see actions that you don't want in your family, that's when the masculine role has to step up and say, we're not going to do it.
Correct. Exactly. And you gotta be okay with not being the good guy in the moment because your family's not gonna understand it in the moment. They're gonna think that you're unsensitive or you're a dictator or you're da 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 da. They're not gonna get it in the moment. But down the road, on the long term, they always come back around and say, "Oh wow, he was right." Right? Perfect example: the vaccine. Man says to his family, "No, we're not doing it." Oh, why? Why? But we have to. But grandma. But Fauci. No, we're not doing it. Oh, you're so bad guy, right? 2 years later, everybody's getting fucking strokes. People are getting fucking heart attacks, TIAs, all this shit. Oh yeah, Dad was right. Fuck. Okay. Thanks, Dad. I appreciate it. It's like you got to be okay with being the bad guy. But again, another thing that men are afraid of nowadays is being the bad guy. You can't be afraid to be the bad guy. I don't give a fuck if you're upset at me in the moment. You're going to see that down the road, I was telling you the right thing, and you're going to understand. Might not be today, but I'm not a coward. I'm going to do the brave thing. I'm going to take the heat now, understanding that I'm doing a good thing for you in the future. But what men will do now is they want to be the good guy. They want to make you feel good now, like the mom, and then under, not understanding that 2, 3 years down the road, you actually ended up making it worse for your son or for your daughter. Like you just made life worse for them, but it was good in the moment. It's like you can't do that, dude.
Sometimes
Stop
the
trying.
truth hurts.
Yeah.
Whatever you guys say in the moment, the truth will hurt people. It will. But like you said, down the road, the truth always prevails. So the truth will come out and it'll shine light on whatever happened. And maybe it was for the good, maybe it was for the bad. But when you're dealing with, like you said, emotionally, when you're acting on emotions, oh, I want her to feel okay now. I want my son to feel okay now. It's taking away from what actually the structure of whatever the argument was, whatever the person needed to learn. They might not learn it if you're just going to make their emotions feel better now. Sometimes people need to sit in their emotions like, oh, wow, I really messed up. I shouldn't have been out drinking late with my friends. I shouldn't have been out smoking late with my friends. I was really stupid. But if you just bypass it, like, oh well, he was safe, he got home, or whatever the situation is, sometimes you need those emotions to set in, and for people to understand that they made a mistake, that they did wrong, and they will. Everybody always will. It's just you have to give people time and not budge off of your position.
Yep. And you have to, people need feedback. Everybody's so afraid to give feedback, but this is why nobody gets better, nobody changes, is because nobody's giving feedback. Again, like you said, the truth's going to hurt. But if you want somebody to change or you want anything to change, you need to give feedback so that they're aware of what's going on. So
Yeah.
they can be reflective and say, oh, shit. Okay, yeah, I didn't even think of it like that, but yeah, you're probably right. All right, let me fix that. See, nobody wants to give feedback, so nothing gets better. Everything stays the same. Everything becomes more degenerate, and then you let these obscene ideas start to fester in this country, and then grow. And next thing you know, you got this whole fucking movement going on where you're like, oh fuck, how the fuck did we get here? It's because nobody stopped and said, you know what, that's kind of stupid. We
Yeah.
should probably not do that. No, nobody's giving feedback. Nobody's giving pushback. They're like, oh yeah, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. No, it's not fine, bro. You fucking say something. Say no, that's bullshit. So, okay. Ed, any other points you want to make on that?
No, that's good. That was a good conversation. Just
Yeah.
teen tips for the future generation of parents like us that will be going through it in the next 10 to 15 years.
Yeah. So one other thing I was going to touch upon was interesting couple of takeaways I had from this past Saturday. So I was telling you before we started, took a girl out on Saturday, took her to the classic spot. Which, by the way, okay, I'm gonna give some game to the young viewers, gentlemen. I may have said this before, I'm gonna say it again. First date, when you take a girl on a first date, you always take her somewhere she's never been before. Okay, this is game. So I always ask, okay, have you been to this restaurant? Yes? Okay, cool. We're not going there. Wait, what? Why? I like that restaurant. No, don't give a fuck. I'm not taking you there. I know another dude took you there. I'm not fucking taking you there. All right. Always take her somewhere she's never been before for the first date. Why? Well, because you want her to associate only you with this restaurant. So number one, she's not going to have any prior memories of other dates she's had there. She's not going to be thinking about anybody else. Two, then If it doesn't work out with her, and you tell her to kick rocks, the next time she goes there, who's she's gonna think about? She's gonna think about you. All right. This is a fucking game. So always take them somewhere new. Okay. The second thing, you got to have a spot. All right. You got to have a spot where you know the owner, where you're friends with the waiters, where they, you tip really well. You have a relationship, you have rapport with them, so that when you walk in, you're the fucking big dog. Okay. So I had this place in Arizona. I got this place in Pittsburgh. I got this place in Miami, where when I go in there, the owner knows me by first name and hugs me and gives me a fucking, whatever the fuck I want. Okay. Bro, game changer. So, anyways, take this girl to my spot here, and first thing that happens, walks in. Oh, yo, bro, the one waiter. Yo, bro, you looking fresh, bro. You come in fresh here every time. Da, da, da. And then the owner of the restaurant's this old Italian guy who always walks around with a glass of wine. Classic Italian dude, like 80 years old, owns the restaurant. Bobby, he's there every single fucking night, sipping on his wine. Doesn't do anything. Like he's just there chilling. It's just his restaurant, and he's funny as shit. So
That's how you know a restaurant's good, by the way. When the owner is physically there, just on the premise, that's how you know a restaurant's good. Not when they're just out building these chain 5-star restaurants. No, when the owner's there, having his wine, maybe having a meal, his kids are there. That's how you know it's a good restaurant.
exactly. Correct. Yeah, he's there, but he's not cooking nothing, he's not touching nothing. He's just there to yell. He's just there to tell you, hey, Bro, he'll be yelling back. He'll yell back. He hears somebody screaming in the kitchen. He'll go, hey, keep it down. That's all he does, dude. He fucking yells and he drinks his wine and listens to music. So this place is like out of a movie. It's tucked away in the corner of Pittsburgh. You got to walk down this little staircase down into the street level, and then you take these stairs down into the street, below a building, and then you got this little restaurant tucked away underneath. Old school Italian owners there all the time, like we were just talking about. Everybody knows each other. And he has his one buddy. He's a random dude. His friend comes in every evening with the guitar. He'll just start playing for everybody and start singing. Dude, we'll be in there. You're in the middle of fucking eating pasta, and then you'll hear the owner. He'll go, everybody, shut it down or quiet down. He's gonna sing a song for you. And everybody, the whole restaurant, bro, everybody's fucking yapping. Da, da, da. Everybody goes quiet. And then next, bah, 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 you got Dean Martin going. He's got
Oh my
Sinatra.
God.
He's singing. Dude, it's incredible vibe. So, so you got this. So anyway, so the vibe is off the charts. This place is just it just feels something out of a movie. So, dude, you gotta think about it. I pick up the girl class, I'll pick her up in the AMG. I got the purple ambience inside. I got the fucking engine purring. I'm fucking ripping it around town. So, they get picked up. I'm taking them to this restaurant. We walk in. She sees me greet the owner. I introduce her to the owner. And this is funny. So this girl, some of the biggest fucking hoochies I've ever seen in my life. Bro, bangers on her. Bangers. And so the dress she wore was to clearly show off the bangers. I mean, this dress was barely had a top to it. So she's walking around with fucking tits flying everywhere. And I introduced her to the owner, and she goes, "Oh, like, how are you? It's so nice to meet you." He goes, "How am I?" He goes, "A lot better after seeing you, dear." I was like, "Oh, you little fucking hornball." Italian dudes are always so horny. So he was loving the tea. So, all right, we sit down, we get to eating. And of course, she loves me, of course. It's just, that's a given. But what's so interesting, this is what men have to be cognizant of, because this is going to wrap into the point we were making about running in the house the way you got to run the house. She has all these bright ideas, and she was a very intelligent girl. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking anything away from her. Super intelligent, big aspirations, big goals, which I love that. That's awesome. Great, right? You always have to respect intelligence. But she had some differing views than I did on some things, right? Like I said before, I'm not no pussy. Oh, wait, you think this way? Okay, I believe whatever you say, baby, just because I'm trying to get laid, which most of you fuckers do. No, I told her I got no disagree with that. Here's why. Make my points. Boom, 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 boom. showed my high level of competence. So here's what happens. You guys will see this. If a girl actually loves you, or she wants to be with you, or she's interested with you, it's incredibly how quickly they no longer have opinions. So by the end of dinner, she's already saying to me like, "Well, like, would you like me to like think like that?" Or literally saying this about her points that I was disagreeing with her on. She's like, "You know, would you like me to do that?" And I'd say, "Well, yeah, for sure." She's like, "Okay, like, yeah. I mean, you could try, or we could try to do that." Or it's already by one dinner, by the end of the first dinner, trying to adopt my mindset or the way that I think about things. That's how you know a girl actually likes you,
Hmm.
because you'll see how quickly they no longer care about their opinions or ideas. Their goal is to be with the guy that they fucking adore. So she could have these fantastic ideas as soon as she knows that she likes you. Oh, yeah, whatever you say, whatever you think. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I would say, and it's true from the perspective of they want to adopt your mindset. They want to think like you, especially if they adore you. They think you're smart. They think you're charming. They think you're strong and masculine. They want to understand what makes you tick that way. They want to make you. They want you to understand. They want to understand of why you think this way. It's attractive to them of the thought process behind it. So always explaining your mind why you do things is super important, especially when talking to women, like we talked about from the emotional aspect versus the logical aspect. There's a thing, me and my girlfriend, she'll come up to me. She's like, listen, sometimes you're very logical behind how you talk to me. Like it's A, B, C, D, and you get E. Like it's like, I'm a straight shooter. I'm like, if you do this, you get this, do this, this. But she's like, sometimes women are looking for just they want you to hear their emotions, and it's different than as opposed to how men think that we just want to get things done sometimes, or just talk about things very logically. Sometimes girls just want to talk through their emotions, and that's different than how we talk per se.
Hmm.
So it's just knowing your audience, knowing who you're talking to.
That's true.
But I like how she did that for you. That's nice.
Yeah, and that's attractive. I mean, what's better than your girl adopting the way that you speak? She starts using your lingo. Now she's friends with your friends. She likes hanging out with you guys. Like that's right. That's the best. That's the
Hmm.
best when a girl she starts to love all the things that you love. Your car, your favorite car. Oh, baby, what car do you like? Oh, I like this car. This car. Okay, that's what I like. And that's the best, bro. I
So now she's
love
gonna
that.
go back to her friends and say, "Oh, my favorite car is a AMG
GT.
GT.
Yeah, yeah. Your friends will
It's
be like,
my
"What the
favorite
fuck's that?"
car."
But that's exactly what happens. They'll adopt it, dude, and that's good. That's what I'm saying. That's good. And what you were saying too, that's another skill in and of itself. Is yeah, you got to understand whenever girls, not everything with girls is just explaining things to them, right? When you're having a normal conversation like that, like we were, yeah, we were actually making points, talking about things. But if a girl comes to you and she's just looking for you to hear her, or be an emotional support, yeah, as gentlemen, you got to be able to recognize that and provide that. It certainly isn't always about just giving an answer or trying to solve problems, which of course
Yep.
is how men think. If she just needs to feel better about something, yeah, give her a hug, lay down with her, relax for a minute, say, hey, it's all good, just listen to her. And then whenever she's ready, because you have to let them get the emotional side of it out. If she's ready and she even wants a solution, then you can go ahead and provide that. But that happens down the road. First, you got to just take care of the emotional aspect of it, which is fine. And sometimes they don't even ever want the answer.
No, that's something I've learned, and that's something that I need to work on for myself because, like I said, I'm trying to give answers. Something happened at work, coworker, manager made her upset, made her mad, hates work, doesn't want to work, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, well, you should do this, you should do this, you should take action, email this person. But that's not what she wanted to hear. She didn't want to hear that. She wanted to hear, oh, it's all right. Don't worry about it. It's just work. Come here, sit down. Pat on the back, hug, and make some dinner. Just talk about it, right? And sometimes I'm working so much and I'm in such a high gear at all times. That's just what I immediately jump to. So
Hmm.
it's common self reflection of being more open to emotions and listening and just taking in what she's talking about. And like you said, but that's what she told me. She's like, I don't want answers. She's like, I just want you to hear me, and that's how you got to be sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that. People take things the wrong way when you say, women are better at some things than men, and men are better at some things than women. A man should handle this duty in the house, a woman should handle that duty in the house. It's not about whether somebody's right or wrong or somebody's better than the other person. No, it's just we require different things. We're different things, right? So there's nothing wrong that women need that. That's what actually for me is attractive about them is that they are that emotional side, that feminine side, that energy that men you don't naturally have. Like you want that from a woman. And so there's nothing wrong with the fact that she doesn't want an answer. She doesn't need an answer. That's fine. Guys, it's fine. You don't have to give her the answer then.
My
Just
answer's probably
relax.
not good anyway. I don't work at the company. I don't know anything
Yeah.
that's going on. So it's
Yeah,
just,
I don't know what these ladies are doing. Fuck it, dude. But if she's mad about it, then hey, I'm on her side. Fuck Betty too. Betty's a
yeah,
bitch.
yeah.
She's a fucker. So yeah, you got to understand the difference. But the one other point I'll make is now you also have to understand, gentlemen, the only way that somebody's going to start to adopt your mindset, whether that's from a leadership perspective within a business or somebody that you're mentoring. So it could be men or women that are looking up to you, or a woman in a relationship. For somebody to be able to adopt your mindset and the trust the conclusions that you've come to and that you've come to them with a high level of intelligence and a lot of experience, you have to be a competent individual. They have to look at you as somebody who is trustworthy in that decision making. They got to look at you and say, okay, I believe that this person knows more than me. They're in a better position to make this decision or conclusion than I am. I'm going to trust their decision making. So you're not going to get that reaction from a girl that you're dating that I got just after that one date if they don't look at you as somebody who's competent, if you don't speak well, if you're not doing well, if you're not successful. If you have no evidence to show that you're competent, then why would they adopt your way of thinking? Of course, they're going to be way more combative. They're going to be a lot more assertive on what their opinions are because they're not going to look at you as a individual that they could just relinquish all their power or control to,
Yeah, I
right?
mean, especially if you're someone who's not doing anything. If you like, for a gentleman that has set himself up weightlifting every single day, is consistent, builds a new skill, is looking at crypto charts every single day, is building online stores, learning how to run ads, learning how to build his own business. That's somebody that could actually provide value for someone else. If you're someone else, if you don't do anything, if you're just in a dead end job working the fryer at Burger King and you're happy with it, they're not gonna take your advice. They're not gonna listen to you. They're not. It's gonna go in one ear out the other, and then they're on to the next fellow they want to talk to. So you have to
Hmm.
set yourself up as a trustworthy person, as somebody with success, somebody who is skill based, somebody that knows things, to even be interesting to talk to, because people are a lot deeper than just a face level conversation, especially when you start getting into a relationship like that.
Hmm. And you can't get upset as a man who's working, you know, a dead end job and not making money and not bettering himself. You can't get upset that women don't look at you or notice you or care about you.
Yeah.
You can't, bruv. You can't. It's not to say that you don't have value and that you can't change it. That's the beauty of being a man is that you actually can change your value.
Hmm.
Women can't necessarily change it too much. It's very heavily predicated on their beauty, their looks, which over time does diminish. So that part of them will diminish as well. As men, it's the opposite. We start as zero and then you build yourself up to what you can by the time you're 30, 35, 40 years old. So you can't even get upset of women not paying attention to you whenever you're working at, the grocery store. Like, what? I can't get a girlfriend. Da, da, da. Bruv, it's not even to say that you have no value, but how could you blame them for what you're doing right now? It's like saying to me, well, Priyama, how could you see no value or not want to date a girl that's 300 pounds and ugly as shit? Well, because she's 300 pounds and ugly as shit. Like, that's why. It's like, well, why won't girls date me? Because I'm a cashier at Walmart. Well,
Yeah, and I weigh
because
three
you're,
fifty, and I eat McDonald's every night for dinner. It's like,
yeah,
well, everything you just said, just
yeah,
listen to
that's
yourself.
why. Yeah, 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 that right there. That's why. Yeah, exactly. Now, here's the thing. As a man, you can change it though. That's the thing. You can fucking change it. So how about you change it? And then you start to see how these things start to open up to you. It's not easy though. It's not easy, gentlemen. This
Mm-mm.
shit does not happen overnight, and it's not easy. But I would highly recommend you fucking do something about it. You join the Taylor's Code, you enter the network, you start working with people like myself, Bobby, the other individuals that we network with, make money with. Because when you're surrounded by these fucking savages that all they do is better themselves and improve their own lives, you realize how the issue is no longer how can I get a girl or a girlfriend or a wife and have a family. It's The only concern is how can I continue to improve myself so I can continue to impress and honor my wife, honor my children, and show them that I'm willing to do whatever it takes to become the best person I can be to then become the best provider for them, right? That's the type of energy you need. That's the type of people you need to be networking with. Otherwise, yeah, you're going to stay exactly where you're at. You're not going to experience any of these things in your life because it's not just going to happen by accident.
Definitely does not happen by accident. That's something, luckily, we learned at a young age. Um, and a lot of people don't realize it until it's too late. They think they could just coast by and someone's going to come around with a magic wand and make them rich or make them successful. But it's baby steps every single day. You got to get on here when you're tired at 7 a.m., jumping on live streams, jumping on calls, and doing things that you don't necessarily want to do. But yeah, it's the perfect opportunity to join a network of guys who are working every single day across the world, different countries, building any kind of business you can imagine, from clothing to crypto, uh, anything you could, anything in between, sales professionals, gentlemen's tips, dressing to the nines, luxury cars, luxury watches. That's what we're doing here. That's what we're building here, to become that ultimate professional, ultimate gentleman, so you're happy when you look in the mirror and you could actually be happy with what is in the mirror. And then, like Pramo said, something that you honor your wife, honor your children, something you're happy to build towards is the ultimate goal of being a man, and something that you're happy to look back on all the work you did and go, it got me to where I am today. So that's most important. And like Pramo said, also, if you're not happy with yourself, if you're not happy with what you see in the mirror, you can change that. It starts today, right? If you're overweight, go on a run, go to the gym, get going. If you're broke, you can't afford to get out of your parents' house, whatever it is, you could always pick up a side hustle, a new income, a second job, a third job, whatever it is. It's all out there for the taking. So there's no excuses in 2025.
Zero. No, nobody's going to look at your situation and exonerate you for the outcome, right? You can't go to your girl and say, "Oh, I wasn't able to go to the gym today because I was tired or I had a long day at work or blah, blah." Nope. Oh, listen, women don't give a fuck. They care about what's the actual result. Did you actually get it done or not? We were just talking about earlier. I slept 3 hours last night taking care of a guy to get into the private crypto place. I worked the entire day before that. I went to the gym. I did my run. I did my lift. Everything. Like everything happened yesterday, and I didn't fall asleep till 4 in the morning because I had 8 shots of espresso, so I literally couldn't sleep. It happens, right? It happens.
What time did you have your
But the,
last espresso at?
it was late. It was like 8 o'clock. I had a double.
That's
Yeah,
why you're up so late.
yeah, yeah. I had some late meetings. I had to do one at 9 and then one at fucking 10 Eastern time. So I've ripped a double at 8 p.m. to be ready for those. But I still got the job done. I'm not gonna sit here and stay up till 4 a.m. and text Bobby at 4 a.m. Hey man, um, I really need to sleep in tomorrow, so I'm gonna miss the fucking live stream. Can we do it on? No, bro, that doesn't even fucking cross my mind. Did you get the job done or not? It doesn't matter how much you slept. It doesn't matter what you did the day prior. Did you get the job done or not? What's the job? What do you have to get done? So quit fucking lying to yourself and telling yourself you can't go to the gym. You don't have time. Don't have time to make money. I don't have time to do my side hustle, bruv. Either make the time or be a fucking loser for the rest of your life. Make the decision. Okay? So outside that, I mean, we fucking gave them the sauce today, Bob.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
No, let's end it there. Go be a hero. Don't be a zero. Get after it. Work hard, and you'll get the results that you put the work in for. Plain and simple.
Exactly. All right, gentlemen. Like, comment, subscribe to the stream. Continue to get the juice online. And for those of you that are not already inside of the Taylor's Code, the link is in the description for my stream. It's in the description for Bobby's stream. Click on it, join it, start making money with us ASAP. It could be crypto, could be e-commerce, could be sales, could be affiliate marketing, could be whatever the fuck you want to do online. We'll figure it out. We'll help you make money. Okay? But let me see a little Mr. Producer. First Twitch live stream, we had 800,000 live viewers. Fuck you, cussing that.